Psychology teacher turned adult film star says parents are the problem, not porn. The adult film industry is without a doubt a contentious topic. Publicly condemned and blamed for teaching children misleading, dangerous and violent narratives around sex, it's a conversation which makes religious groups, educational bodies and parents alike squirm. However, it's easy to play the blame game. Instead of pinning everything on porn, a psychology teacher turned adult film star mostly blames parents for young people's dangerous relationship with pornography. If you search the internet for articles about porn, you're met with predominantly disapproving and resolute opinions on the adult film industry. But what's the reality of working in adult films? With sites such as OnlyFans having amassed over 1.5 million content creators, and the adult film industry employing millions more, why do so many choose it, and stay with it, as a career? There's a National Anti-Porn Awareness Week, which has previously spanned across the end of October into the first week of November, but no widely acknowledged week simply titled Porn Awareness Week, so we decided to make one. Prepare yourself for the first of 5 articles offering a completely stripped-back look into the adult film industry, with each performer bearing all, in more ways than one. Dee Siren is Saturday across from me in a pink fluffy dressing gown, wide-framed scholarly but slightly cat-eyed spectacles, her hair in a messy bun, Saturday on a pink gaming chair. I don't know what I expected to see behind her through the limited rectangular zoom screen, perhaps a sex swing, or some handcuffs chained to the wall, a secret sex dungeon or some erotic outfit. Instead, I get the view of a bright, tidy bedroom, some colorful paintings framed on the wall, the warm glow of a lamp and a shelf overflowing with books. Dee used to be an elementary school teacher, who has a degree in psychology and sociology. Dee, a 49-year-old mom of 3, came into the industry later in life from a vanilla job as a teacher, having been inspired as a swinger, someone who engages in group sex, and seeing the progression into the adult film industry as supernatural. Dee and her husband create content together, a career move they both put a lot of thought into around how it would affect their family. It was something that just seemed to go along with my life, and it was much better financially than being a teacher, Dee told UNILAD. Plus, it gave me the freedom to be with my children. Most people think porn is a detriment to children, which is a huge misconception. Without my career, my children would have grown up in daycare. I was able to have a flexible schedule and do my thing when I needed, but otherwise I spent all my time with them. While the flexibility of Dee's career in the adult film industry has benefited the lives of her children, her experience doesn't take away from the damaging effects porn has on some young people. In an article one previously wrote about the porn industry, young people admitted to feeling insecure about their bodies as a result of a lack of diversity in adult film. Dee takes pride in how she doesn't look like your typical porn star entering her career in her late 30s without a ton of plastic surgery, as the real MILF, the real hot wife, somebody who can relate to real people and real bodies. Despite this, Dee admits the representation of different body types in the industry is still far from ideal. A couple of years ago they made some big beautiful woman BBW movies. But they'll put BBWs in a separate category, she explains. It's the same with race. It's always been fetishized, the same with big black C****, Ks, BBC, everything is always separated and labeled. However, is such separation and fetishization the fault of the adult film industry? You try to get rid of the labels, but then someone says, well, if I can't label you, I don't even know how to look you up. In my opinion, no one should be labeled, but it's super hard to get past the labels because that's what society looks for. I don't think it's any different from everything else in society with labeling and hashtagging everybody, Dee argues. Adult film has also been condemned by many as promoting violence and abuse against women. However, Dee explains a lot of fetishes, such as rougher sex, can be what performers really enjoy doing themselves. I'm one to do crazy ***T. I do kind of extreme stuff. Some of the things I do people may think are completely insane, but it's not violent to me. It wasn't even painful. I'm not into hitting or that stuff, but I am into big toys. You can't demonize anything and say for me, it's good, but for you, it's not, the mum says. My previous article about the pressures of porn on young people also raised questions around the lack of consent shown in adult film. Lucy Whitehouse, who helped launch Fumble, a charity seeking to provide safe, accurate and insightful information to young people about sex and porn in a digital age, advised young people should go to porn websites knowing that it is a tool for entertainment, not education. However, Dee admits a lot of people still end up copying acts from porn videos. While it's not adult film performers' jobs to teach anyone about sex, the role of teacher has unfortunately been thrust onto them due to the position not being as readily taken up by anyone else in society. One of my previous article's interviewees spoke about how her ex-boyfriend assaulted her after copying something he'd seen in a porn video, not asking for consent because he'd not seen it portrayed. In order to help reduce the risk of young people learning damaging behaviors, Dee thinks the porn industry needs to talk about the fact we all sign consent forms and how some people like to be choked, but it's also something everyone agreed to before. While some performers see being videoed out of character as a violation of the privacy, Dee feels a certain sense of responsibility. We should just talk about it rather than ignoring the fact that people do learn from us. However, ultimately, Dee believes the majority of the responsibility to educate children about sex, and to remind young people porn is not education but fantasy, falls on parents. As a mother of 2 children in the 20s and one aged 16, she says, "I have always had the opinion that the moment you are willing to get that kid a phone, let's say at 10 years old, you better talk to that kid about sex. Because they will learn about it. And if you're not going to talk about it, they're going to watch it, have no idea what's happening and end up super confused." Growing up in the 80s and 90s, there wasn't any internet and so Dee's access was limited to Playboy magazine, and maybe a VHS tape. Despite the lack of technology in Dee's upbringing compared to now, the same issue still stands. Dee was never talked to as a kid about sex, and got in trouble for exploring herself. Dee believes the shame and judgment that comes along with sex and your sexuality, ingrained in every cultural society, also affects children's understanding, specifically. Thanks for watching, leave a comment below so we know what you think about the video. See you in our next video.